In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Good evening, brothers. We are continuing our reflection on the characteristics of love as explained by Pope Francis in his post-synodal apostolic exhortation, Amoris Laetitia. One of the qualities of love is not rude. Often, some of the people say, no, the priests are abusing them like anything. You might have seen also in some parishes, some of the priests are angry with the people. We are called alter Christus. Every Christian is alter Christus, all the more so a priest. So we are called upon to use in our conversation with others polite language. Very polite language. Already now you have to start. The famous poet Thiruvalluvar says, everywhere it is written, one of the famous poem of Thiruvalluvar is, when somebody is speaking bad things, when there are sweet things, it is like eating not the fruit, but only the raw mango. When the beautiful fruit is there, you are not eating it. You want to eat only the raw mango. So you also should choose the best words to address people. Some of them are very polite and respectful. You know, our own Father Bonanno, how politely, words of encouragement. To many of the brothers, it means much. Maybe some may take it lightly. But we have to use words which are very, very polite. Today itself, make a firm decision. I am not going to hurt anybody through my words. I was going through some of the passages in the Gospel, especially Matthew's Gospel, chapter 12, there is a beautiful verse. We have to remember that. Verse 36. I tell you, on the day of judgment, you will have to give an account for every careless word you utter. You have to give an account to every careless word you utter. For by your words you will be justified, and by your words you will be condemned. 37 verse says like this, you will be justified by your words, and you will be condemned by your words. So my appeal to you today, my dear brothers, be known as persons who are polite and gentle in their dealing with others. It's very, very important. Do not break the hearts of people. God has given us the tongue, power of speech, to glorify God. To say to others, as Pope himself says often, thank you, I am sorry, I have made a mistake. Welcome. So these are the words that should be used frequently in our conversation. It's very, very important. Remember this lifelong. I may be dead and gone. You will live longer. But be known for your sweet speech with the people. Do not be rude to them. Do not be rude to them. My own friend, with whom I joined and translated the whole Code of Canon Law into Tamil very closely, Father Vairdyaraj. One day, he was getting down from the bus because diabetic patients, they have to go to the toilet immediately as soon as they come from the bus. They have to go for number 1. So he was rushing and come out of the bus. But he always goes in cassock, especially those days. So one man told it seems, I say it in Tamil, அங்கே பார்த்தா சாமியார் மாதிரி தெரியுது, சாமியாருக்கு ஏற்ற பொறுமை இல்லையே. So when we look at the cassette, he looks like a priest. He does not have the patience of a priest. He himself shared with me, I should not have hit a man as I was getting down from the bus. That is what people are expecting from us. To be patient, one thing, to be gentle, kind. Sometimes some of our own priests have used language which they are not supposed to use. In my own personal life, I have tried my level best. I'll be firm, but I will not frequently get angry and hurt people. Yes, I don't agree with you, all right. But what is the use of getting angry and you are losing your temper? One thing is, when you are shouting, what does it mean? Only when a person is far away, you shout. Lovers, they don't shout. They speak very slowly, they speak. When the heart is near, you don't shout. When the heart is far away, you shout. Sometimes I have heard in the seminary also, brothers shouting to each other. What is the use of shouting, man? What is the use of shouting? We are all called to radiate the compassionate Christ. Please remember this. Even if I make a mistake in that regard, don't follow me. Jesus asked us, learn from me. I am meek and humble of heart. What are the type of words Jesus used? Here Holy Father quotes Jesus as using these words. Jesus said, take heart, my son. Encouraging words. Matthew 9th chapter, 2nd verse. Take heart, my son. And then you say, great is your faith, is telling the Canaanite woman. Words of appreciation. Great is your faith. Matthew 15th chapter, 28th verse. And then he says, arise. Mark 5th chapter, 11th verse, arise. And then Jesus says to the sinner woman in Luke 7th chapter, 50th verse, go in peace. See the words of Jesus, go in peace. And then again, Matthew 14th chapter, 27th verse, when the disciples are frightened, be not afraid. Be not afraid. These are not words that demean others. They do not sadden others. These are not words of anger or show scorn. In our families, in our surroundings, we have to hear such words, the Holy Father says. Even if some people are known for their bad temper, from today onwards, the Lord is appealing to you through me today. Do not be angry at all. Okay, for any quarrel you need two persons. The person is thinking that you are wrong. Just keep quiet. The next day politely tell him. It's very difficult only. In community life sometimes it's very, very difficult. But as Christians we have to follow it. As disciples of Jesus we have to follow it. So don't be known as rude persons. It is not good. A rude priest is not good. Saint Francis de Sales always speaks about more than vinegar, the honey attracts more flies. Your words should be honey, not vinegar. A barrel of vinegar does not attract the flies, but a drop of honey attracts the flies. Like that you have to attract people by your kind words. Not only words, the body language. As you know, as philosophy students, as students of psychology, more than 75% of our communication is non-verbal communication. The way some people walk only sometimes, we know this fellow doesn't care for us, respect for us. Don't mistake me also. Sometimes I am thinking about what to write to this person to respond like that. So I may not say good evening. So forgive me for those occasions. But consciously I don't want to despise you. Sometimes I am seriously in thought like that. But we should not be like that. There was one priest. He is in one of the dioceses. He was also Vicar General. He was studying with me in Rome. So at that time, one day I told him when we were studying in Rome, you are like Holy Father John Paul II, I told. He was very happy. So afterwards, I was telling him, Father, you are like Pope John Paul II. Why, he asked, why you compared me? Because when Pope has so many visitors, each of them he has to greet. So at that time, his hand will be with one person, he will be looking at another person. So like that only, you are giving your hand to me and looking at the sister's manner. You have to give attention to the person to whom you are speaking. You have to give attention to the person. His hand is with me, you are shaking hand with me, looking there. So Pope has so many visitors, sometimes we understand that. So then he was so much put out. When I told him that, he thought I am saying you are very popular like Pope, very attractive like Pope. He expected me from that. But finally I said this. Why I am saying is, we are supposed to look at the eyes of the people to whom we are at. Yesterday also they were telling, St. Vincent de Paul meant it. Just throwing 1 rupee coin to the poor beggar, doesn't count. Even when we help the poor, we have to look at their eyes with love, concern and compassion, and then speak, it seems. That is true charity. That is true charity. I have a number of things to tell, but just briefly to say, to love is to be gentle and thoughtful. And this is conveyed by the next word. The Greek word is here mentioned, eskemone. It indicates that love is not rude or impolite. It is not harsh. Its actions, words and gestures are pleasing and not abrasive or rigid. Actions, gestures. Sometimes you may not speak something. The way you make some gestures itself, come out. The person is off. Be careful. Sometimes without our knowledge or inadvertently, forgetfully we may do. Feel sorry for those occasions. Hereafter, I am going to be very, very gentle and kind. Do not put down people. Do not put down people. People have their own problems. Don't multiply the problems by your words. Why can't you say it politely? Why can't you say it politely? That's why yesterday also I was telling the people in the parish pastoral council or parish finance council, you may have a very good opinion, but whenever you express your opinion, do not forget the dignity of the individuals, human dignity. Because what you are saying is right or just, you have no right whatsoever to undermine others, put down others. That is it. Even in a class meeting, for example, hi, you keep quiet. No. You have the right to say what you want. He has the right to say what he wants. Have respect for the others. Do not put down others. Do not put down others. And even in the question of correction, superiors are told repeatedly, correction. One of the things is public correction. Public correction. People are not able to bear. Sometimes I did so many good things to people, 1 or 2 persons afterwards expressed to me, Father, on that particular day, you corrected me so much publicly. I felt so humiliated, he told. So I had been extra careful, but still that person said that. Because public correction is very, very humiliating. Do not let down your companions publicly. Correct as far as possible personally. Praise them publicly. Correct them privately. Because you should not be rude with people. People are created in the image and likeness of God. People are not lifeless objects. They are children of God. You are a young priest, only 29 years of age. An elderly man comes to see the parish priest, 80 years of age. Arrogantly, you are sitting in a cushion in the sofa, making that elderly man stand for 1 hour. It is not correct. It is not human, respecting human dignity. God is coming in His presence. Even if you were treated like that, do not treat others like this. The opposite of being gentle and kind. I want to take some other passages. I am sure this will bear fruit. You will remember always, especially Ephesians 4th chapter. We have also for our evening prayer sometimes. Please read what St. Paul says there. Ephesians 4th chapter. Let no evil talk come out of your mouths. Verse 29. Ephesians 4th chapter. Reflect on it. I am sure today at least one of you will say to me afterwards, Father, hereafter I will use polite words. I will be very happy. Let no evil talk come out of your mouths, but only what is useful for building up. What is useful for building up, as there is need, so that your words may give grace to those who hear. So what a beautiful sentence. When people hear your words must give grace to them, it seems. Imagine what type of language is sometimes used by religious seminarians and priests. Those who hear your words must grow in grace. Such should be your words. And do not grieve the Holy Spirit of God, with which you are marked with a seal for the day of redemption. I think in this context only St. Paul says, whenever you speak bad words or scold others, abuse others, or rude to others, when you are rude to others, you are making the Holy Spirit sad. You are making the Holy Spirit sad. We should not make the Holy Spirit sad. Put away from you all bitterness and wrath and anger and wrangling and slander, together with all malice. So we have to put away all these, it seems. No anger, no wrath, no malice, no shouting, St. Paul says. Hereafter I don't want two brothers abusing each other loudly. I will be very sad. Holy Spirit will be sad. I will also be sad. Whenever you scold the other brothers, they will be sad only. Don't scold. Be kind to one another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another. See, be kind to one another, tender-hearted. So that is our whole occasion. And another beautiful passage is James chapter 3. Taming the tongue. You have heard it again and again. Here he says, for all of us make many mistakes. Anyone who makes no mistakes in speaking is perfect, able to keep the whole body in check with a bridle. If we put bits into the mouths of horses to make them obey us, we guide their whole bodies. Look at ships, though they are so large that it takes strong winds to drive them, yet they are guided by a very small rudder. So also the tongue is a small member, yet it boasts of great exploits. The forest is set ablaze by a small fire, and the tongue is a fire. The tongue is placed among our members as a world of iniquity. It stains the whole body. So you have to take care of your tongue. Take care of your tongue. Be polite. Use gentle words. May people grow in grace. Don't say, after I become priest, Father, then I will speak polite words. No. Start from today. You will be more and more of what you are today only. Suddenly by the grace of ordination, you are not going to be changed completely. Let you be known as at least you don't study well, don't play well, don't sing well, don't play any instrument well. At least let all the other brothers say he is a polite person. That we can do. He is very polite seminarian, service minded. He doesn't do any harm to others. We can try now? Yes. May God bless you. Glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. Thank you.